Hello, welcome back to more Phoenix Wright, Attorney Justice for All. We're in the last episode. We continued our investigations into the Farewell My Turnabout case, and today we will be heading to trial, in which we only have today. We only have today's trial, which I believe is going to be 2 trial parts because it said trial 1-1 again. So it's either we go big or we go home. We have to get a complete acquittal of the guy. We have to get our client Matt Engarde a complete acquittal today, or else Maya will be killed. So let's not screw this up, shall we? Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Who are you gonna be? Ah, Mia. Mia, we must get a complete acquittal today. I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. It's him. This is Wright.
Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial.
Maya. She's unharmed, right?
Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial, which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
Present? What in the world would you want to give me?
You'll figure it out once the trial starts, and even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please.
Wait! The kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer Dude, who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so I forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Funny. Okay. You sent me a present? Well, Von Karma's not there. Oh! Oh, you're gonna get to piss off against Edgeworth! Oh, please tell me. Please tell me that the present is like, you gave Von Karma sleeping pills or something, so that Edgeworth will be our rival in trial. Please tell me that's your gift. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Engarde. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor, please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Oh! That's not what I had in mind. That is not at all what I had in mind. What? Shot? Well, somehow, I think this is the present this man was talking about. His present. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. Please be Edgeworth. That's good. You're... I thought he'd show up. Yeah, Edgeworth!
Your Honor, due to circumstances, Miss Francisca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth,
Yes! Oh my god, Edgeworth.
prosecution is ready, naturally.
The time has come. Ah, he's back!
Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery.
Oh, ha ha ha. How ironic. She got shot the same place as her father.
Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Engarde.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. The witness, your name and occupation.
My name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct for now. After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe.
The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness.
Yes, sir.
Now let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of the case, we must start with that.
Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Okay, our first testimony, the bare facts of the case. Let's do it.
The murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carita, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask more about that one.
At first, we thought there was something suspicious at the end of the guitar case.
I'm gonna have to ask more about that one too.
However, we later found out the car case.
And you can't prove that in the slightest. Okay, so I'm gonna have to press a lot of those statements. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room?
Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their room, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. No glaring contradictions. We just like a little more detail about some of this stuff. The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Carita was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pros attention would be drawn here, to this bandana.
Bandana.
His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Oh, yes, I see. His banana-sucking bandana. Bandana. Then what about the knife?
It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here. Okay. Time was at 8:15 p.m. Caused strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Interesting. Thought something suspicious within the guitar case. Why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The German ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar, and we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but
But?
the only fingerprints in the guitar case were the victim's.
Only the victims, huh? I see. Oh, so much for my theory then. Guitar case updated in the car record. There's some water, but only on top of the lid bears Carita's fingerprints. Okay, interesting, and it has nothing to do with the case because... What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
The guitar wasn't at the Gaywater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV
At the TV studio. Interesting.
The victim, Juan Carita, had apparently been taking the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for a ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case at all.
Then why was it there?
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife.
Not unlike Rise from the Ashes.
Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Engarde? Because there was reason enough to suspect him.
Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gunshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why arrest Engarde? I would love to hear it.
Engarde and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Gem and Ninja's button. The stripped off the ninja costume was found in Mr. Engarde's Sakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Is that true? Do we have the knife in evidence? No, we don't. I can't inspect it further. Okay, so how do we know for sure that that's the case? So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was a sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir.
Bears the victim's blood and Engarde's fingerprints in the grip. The Gatewater is engraved. Oh, wait a second. Oh, hang on a minute. So, he bought it for the crime. Except, no, he didn't, because Gatewater is engraved on it. So, he couldn't have just purchased it. So, it wasn't premeditated, okay.
And there's this button.
Oh, it was found on the defendant's clothes, was it? And this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood is not the victim's blood, sir.
What? Okay. That's cool. All this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right?
I'll find a hole in your argument somehow.
You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with the usual pointless questions.
I missed Edgeworth so much. Okay. Why arrest Engarde? Well, I'm pretty sure I have an idea. Okay, let's go to the end. Where do you say that you bought it? No, you definitely did not buy it. Wait a second.
What?
So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand?
That's right, pal. The defendant
Did not buy this knife.
Huh?
Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh?
It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I've heard the name somewhere before.
That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel.
Uh-oh.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that is very true.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... Oh, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
What?
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this.
But I didn't know. Oh.
The question is, where did this knife come from?
Well, why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corrida's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim had a last meal before he was murdered. Well, that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There is a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Engarde.
There's a knife missing from one of the...
Especially what was on top of this table.
Yep, one of the plates.
There is something missing. Perhaps, is it a single knife? We investigated leftover dishes of fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Engarde's knife was missing. Mr. Engarde had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Well, that didn't work at all. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. Seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There was quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
Do I?
Yeah, I don't have any idea what happened. I mean, the only thing that sticks out is there a photo of the crime scene? There should be, right? Yeah. The only thing that sticks out is that wine bottle, or the wine glass on the table, being the only thing that was somehow not broken during the struggle. So, I guess we can show that and hope for the best. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance and only one.
What the judge is saying, Wright, is don't try pulling on one of your usual bluffs here.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
Oh! That's nice! Instant game over if I get this wrong.
Well then. Okay, I really freaking hope it's the wine glass. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well? What do you all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yes. Isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth?
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion.
You don't need my opinion, because there was no special meaning to that glass.
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. While the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example, she could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very possible, Mr. Wright. Could Mr. Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? No, there's no way she could have done that, right? Because wasn't she eating dinner with... Yeah, she was eating dinner with Engarde at the time. So, why would she have brought her drink with her? I appear weak at the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct to point with certainty. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You've turned the situation on its head yet again as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews. What? Okay, forget that plan. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrida. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass on the dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Do you see, Mr. Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario, as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? I genuinely don't know. Of course it's you. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Oh, good God. Why would she have been allowed to bring that into court? Hey, that's it. Mr. Witness, that terrible crime is all the court needs to know.
Oh, just, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam. No, please, by all means interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbog?
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean, you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that Engarde, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrida.
Those two were the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
Okay, please just don't go on any of your tangents.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was Engarde, Matt Engarde. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. Engarde came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
Yeah, okay, but how could you tell it was him? You may begin your cross-examination. I'd love to hear more about precisely how you were able to determine that it was him. So let's go to the end. You saw my client? Are you sure about that?
You see.
Really?
Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Oh, really? Because you were catastrophically wrong the last time we did this song and dance, so I'm just making sure. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, so delve into this a bit further. The person's clothes, right? Because that we can pin down. The face is a little harder to describe, but the person's clothes are more definitive. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Ben.
Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Wait, yes, it was, wasn't it? Wait a minute, let me look at the crime scene again. Or the crime photo. So, wait a minute. So the button was ripped from this guy's costume, right? And it was caught on Engarde's costume. So, if he was wearing the jacket, like she said he was, then how did it end up in that costume? Yes, this is very important. Of course it's important, Your Honor. Has been so long since I've heard that. The perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket to be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please.
Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a big ol' objection on that one. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
It's button number 2 on the German Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She's identified as a single glance.
Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, she really is a diehard fan and want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Engarde's body during a full body search.
See, this button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Engarde.
Yes, but it was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants.
See, an Engarde is a nickel samurai.
Witness. Now, it may just be me and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Engarde, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe you'd think
Oh my god, shut up, no one cares! Although I will admit, I did kind of miss these little tangents from Oldbag. In a very, very strange sort of way. Okay, this is your longest one yet, that's enough. You can stop now. Are you done? Thank goodness you're done. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engarde the man, but Mr. Engarde the nickel samurai?
when you think about it. They're really one and the same anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Alright, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. Okay, so who did you see?
Engarde, yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
No, because if he was wearing the costume, he wouldn't leave fingerprints, because there's gloves. He wouldn't have left fingerprints if he was wearing this costume. No. Wrong. Just straight up no. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What, did you think there could have been someone else inside the costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Ah, youngins today. I told you, there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is you.
That's definitely, because that was definitely true in the Turnabout Samurai case. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. With pleasure. Who I saw, okay. So this is a pretty easy one. Because if he was wearing the costume, he wouldn't have left fingerprints. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's knife, big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used for the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to the case? You don't even have to ask, it's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I am driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr. Engarde was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it is impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have... And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant wanted to revert his room while in costume as a Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If he had no intent to murder, why did he bring the knife from his room? He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stranger. Yeah. Why would he have brought the knife from his room if he wasn't going to kill? You just proved that it was a premeditated murder. What do you mean? When the defendant went to the victim, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, yes, there is a contradiction. There's a big contradiction. The theory contradicts something in earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Engarde was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room with that intent because the knife is... There we go. This knife. This was used by Mr. Engarde at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought the knife with him as when we went to visit Mr. Corrida, I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At the time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees in a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
To frame Matt Engarde. It's to frame my client, Mr. Engarde, of course.
To frame...
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume, and if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness.
Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Jibu?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Engarde with the Nickel Samurai, his TV character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then. Who were you waiting around for?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
Ha ha ha. The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So Old Eye was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think may have sitting in, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Who would you have been waiting for? Who would you have been waiting for, and why would you have been waiting for them? I don't... Maybe you were waiting for, Adrian Andrews? Because she was Engarde's manager, and she used to be the manager of Juan. That's the only thing I can think of.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Engarde's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is... Oh, I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials A, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Witness, what in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't know how to do this. However, I cannot simply let the point slide.
I see. Very well then, witness. Please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you young'uns.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Okay. Secret information. I am ready.
That Engarde is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
Okay.
The defendant and his manager, what is the faithful topic for this court?
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We've looked into the matter, and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will toward the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Well then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right, Engarde is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Okay. Secret information. All I can think to do is just press when she's like,
Psst, don't tell anybody.
wait.
But I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know the secret information?
Well, that's because I'm a pro, yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How long will it that old bad guy such a secret piece of information? Oh, did she steal Lotta's camera? So no one's supposed to know the secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know, Miss Oldbag?
Well, why are you looking at me like that? Stop that.
Witness. I hate to say this, but this is how you came to acquire your secret information. You stole Lotta's camera. The investigative photographer Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Aha! That's it! That's the note! Oh, you made a very terrible error, Miss Oldbag. Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's notes?
I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. The infamous puppy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil Engarde. She said so herself. Engarde, I'm a sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly luck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you?
No, he does not.
I was only trying to help out the angel I am.
Uh-huh.
It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wand. Oh! Oh, dang, Edgeworth. Back in full force today. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? No, we should not. We absolutely should not. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully?
Okay, so my audio just cut out, but I think you may have missed the big reveal. But I just noticed something. It's all bunched up at the bottom it's all bunched up around his feet. And I think that's because whoever's in this costume is not actually Matt Engarde. Someone shorter than him is actually wearing the costume, and that's why it's bunched up at the bottom. Because if you look back at the actual photo, it doesn't do that. It fits him naturally. So, me thinks there's someone else in that costume. This photo by itself does not prove that the person named is defendant. In fact, it proves the exact opposite. In his own confession, Mr. Engarde clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. No, but it's not. It's actually just not, though. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We've examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. No, straight up just no. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree this photo was decisive evidence against your client? If the photo really decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put my life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. This is the only road out of this mess. Okay, this photo looks... There's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there was nothing strange with this photo. There was no way for this defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot with when it counts? No, then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? It's just this general area, because it's all bunched up. I would like to direct the court's attention to this area right here. Well, what are you pointing to, his ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. Engarde. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Oh wait, that was the judge. Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Akama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside the costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is it? Edgeworth isn't usually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Madame Engarde, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this.
What?
White, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Madame Engarde. In that case, who is this a photo of?
Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts.
Who is the person? It's probably Adrian Andrews.
Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman.
What in the world pointed you to her?
For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Engarde's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engarde that night. And how does it all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Engarde's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right?
I have to do this now, so my last should turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order! 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 It looks like this trial has made a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
this court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us, huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. Oh, no! No, we can't have that! One more day? Ah! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya...
No then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? No, wait, raise an objection.
No then.
Please, Your Honor, continue this trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear...
Edgeworth saves the day!
I abhor wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth.
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if I was a bit slow to catch on.
Okay, I know he's bluffing here, but I don't care. I don't care, because it's going to save our rear ends. What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby.
Oh, never mind. That actually wasn't a bluff. Wow.
She's the next witness.
Everything was planned in advance by that man? Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over.
Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness on that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Okay, things are getting interesting now. I am very curious to see how her cross-examination is going to go later today. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I hope to catch you all later today for some more Phoenix Wright Attorney Justice for All. Goodbye.